Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for this episode. If you've been following us, you remember it's been exactly 6 weeks ago that we took this Buffalo Trace wheated mash and this Buffalo Trace mash bill number 1 distillate and put it into each one of these barrels. This is the liquid among 2 others that Buffalo Trace has that they take and put into their barrels and they age for several years. Some bourbons 4 years, others up to 23, 24, 25 years. Inside of these barrels, when we do it with a smaller barrel, it averages about 1 month in one of these barrels equals about a year in one of the 55-gallon barrels. Now, many of the YouTube or TikTok or social media content creators that I follow have had some luck with doing this, and then others haven't had so much luck. So I think we're doing pretty good. I've had these barrels in my garage. It's a conditioned garage and it is about 60 degrees is where I've kept the temperature. And then on nice days, I've set it outside here in Indiana. Try not to be in the sun too much, but nice cool breezes where it could really affect the barrels as much as possible, and never anything below 42 degrees, because in order for bourbon to take its shape inside of these barrels, it has to be 42 degrees or warmer. So that's a lot of times the big warehouses that they store these barrels in, they have either steam heat to heat the old ones, or in the new ones, they have more modern heating systems. As I look down inside of each one of these barrels, after 6 weeks, they're about a quarter of it has been evaporated. So that's the angel effect. So that means that a quarter of these barrels have disappeared. So it looks like we still have about 3/4 left. What I would like to do is get the hydrometer out and kind of see where we're at with the proofing. So you remember this wheated bourbon, we put it in at 114 proof. That's what it was on the bottle. And our goal was to get this Weller full proof here. So this is exactly 114 proof. So we're not gonna change this one much. Full proof means we're not adding any water to this. If you look at Eagle Rare, this is a mash bill number 1 bourbon, and it's I think it's right around 90 proof. So it went in a lot warmer. It went in at 125 proof. So a lot of times the distilleries, to make them not so hot, they'll add a little bit of water to them to tone them down a little bit. So we'll probably try that with this one. So this one starts at 125. We're gonna test out what proof it is in a couple weeks to see where that one's at. I just basically took a big straw here and imported or dropped in carefully so we didn't lose as much of our sauce. We can save as much of it as possible. And so if you take a look real quick, this is the Weller Full Proof, and this has been aged a lot of years. And if you kind of take a look at that right there, you can kind of see that nice, even brown look, and this tastes amazing. And then if you compare it to what I took out of here, I've noticed that, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it's quite a bit lighter on our bourbon, and it tastes still quite a bit like a vodka would, straight vodka. So it's got that high alcohol taste. I did start to pick up a little bit of the barrel from it, and so I'm hoping that gets a little more brown, a little tanner there as we let this sit. But I'm not sure I want to go too much longer, because if we've already lost a quarter of it, we don't want to lose the whole thing, and I have a lot of people that have asked me, hey, when can I get a sample? You'll notice here throughout around the rings, some of that bourbon is really soaked in. It's really brown up here at the top. So I'm guessing a lot of that evaporation has come up there. This one here, this is what that Eagle Rare 10-year looks like. Nice tan, almost just like the Weller. And then this is what came out of it. So if you can kind of tell that, quite a bit lighter on the mash bill number 1. So I'm gonna give these a couple more weeks for our bourbon to kind of soak in that oak more and kind of give it a little bit more color. At that time, in our next video, maybe 2 months in, we'll check in and see how these guys are doing. And we'll also have a winner for those that left a comment telling us what their favorite drink was. And until then, cheers to homemade bourbon.